It is time to wet sand the car. I waited about a year because I was a little bit nervous on wet sanding it because I thought it came out pretty good just out of the gun, but there's obviously some orange peel depending on how you look at it. I wonder if I can get it in a good angle. The white kind of hides it, so let me try to see. It's kind of hard to get a good angle of the orange peel, but I'll put a photo so you guys can see how much orange peel there is on the car. So it's not a lot, but obviously can be a lot better. So the way I'm going to be wet sanding and polishing the car is I'm going to start with, I've got 1500 grit sandpaper, 2000 and 3000. I'm gonna finish off with 3000 grit, and then for the buffing compound, I'm just using the Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. I did a test panel already before, and I did the roof, and you can kind of see already, here's like a reflection. You don't see much orange peel. So it was my first attempt at it, and it was a lot easier than I thought. I mean, it's not perfect, obviously, but I mean, obviously the car is not perfect, but I'm using that Meguiar's compound. And then for all the little micro scratches, I'm gonna use the Ultimate Polish. I haven't gotten to this stage yet. I think I'm gonna wait to wet sand and buff the whole car. And then once I do that, I'll go through and just polish everything at the same time. But I just did the roof, finished it off with 3000, just did the buffing compound, and it came out pretty good. So I think next I'm gonna start with the quarter panel and then see how that ends up. But a couple pointers is when you're using your wet sand, when you're wet sanding with the flat sandpaper, if you're doing it by hand, try apply even pressure with your fingers. Don't point or press with your fingers, because that's how you get maybe a little bit too deep in some spots. So try to be even with your fingers, flat. Go in a straight motion. So if you're gonna go up and down. If you're gonna go sideways, and apply water. Right now I've got a little bit of just automotive soap in the bottle that I'm using with some water, just water from the hose. I don't know if I'm supposed to use filtered water or whatever, but I'm just using from a hose. And just make sure the surface is lubricated while you're sanding. So yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm doing. This is the first time I've ever wet sanded a car, so don't take my advice exactly if you're gonna try this, but so far, I mean, the roof seems like it came pretty good. And I mean, when I painted the car, I did go a little thick on the clear coat, knowing that I was gonna do a wet sand, since I knew it was gonna have some orange peel. But yeah, it's pretty easy. I guess you can kind of see the orange peel right there, yeah, in the sunlight. So there is orange peel, but we'll see how it comes out afterwards. Also, when you're sanding, just be careful of edges like this body line. Don't get up all against the body line. Try to stay maybe a couple millimeters off of it, or if you want to, you can also tape it, but I'm just gonna be mindful of it and just sand close to it. Same with seals and just all the edges. You don't wanna burn through your paint. It's super easy to burn through it when you're sanding, so just be kind of mindful of all those body lines and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna start off with the 1500 grit, and then we're gonna work our way up from there.
One eternity later.
All right, it's day 2. I just finished wet sanding, buffing, and polishing the whole car, and that was a lot of work. But I mean, 2 days worth of work, but I was able to get a car that had a lot of orange peel, to be honest, to something that looked pretty, I would say, factory quality paint. So one thing I did learn early on, I said that I was going to start with 1500 grit. I did have 1000 grit, but I was just a little worried since my clear coat might have not been laid on very well, or I was a little worried about thickness as well. But today, once I got to the passenger side, I just said kind of screw it. Let's see what we can get with 1000 grit, so we can kind of use this as a learning experience, so that when I paint my Silvia, I can kind of have a little bit more experience. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. So this side is when I started with 1000 grit, 1500, 2000, 3000, and then buffed. But as you can see, it is looking really good. Really happy with the finish. The roof looks really good as well. So I'd almost put it at the level of like an OEM paint job. Definitely isn't like show car level, but I mean, like you can see the reflection pretty well. Yeah, I mean, definitely way better. And to think that this was sprayed with Harbor Freight guns in that garage, and now kind of looks like this, it's kind of crazy. So I've yet to clean up everything up, like all the wheels and the windows and stuff. I just finished. It's about to become night, so just finishing up right now. But I mean, it's like night and day difference. If you're worried about trying this, I would say just start off with a small little section. I started off with the roof as a test panel, only because I feel like you don't see the roof as much, especially if you're just kind of looking at the car. So if I messed up a little square in the roof, it would have sucked, but it's not the end of the world, especially since it's kind of just like a drift car. So but I definitely recommend trying this for yourself if you have a car that you painted yourself, or if you have a lot of orange peel. But yeah, there's one last shot right there. That's looking pretty good. So definitely recommend starting with 1000 grit, as long as your clear coat isn't known to be bad and thin. But if you've got a decent amount of clear coat, I would say definitely start with 1000, because that's looking pretty glassy. I guess now we'll see which panel I mess up first and have to repaint and do the whole thing again. But definitely will be saving money in the future, not having to pay someone to do this, especially since this was, like I said, painted in very bad conditions, but can look like this. So